Alright, so I just had a request to make a video about navigating the holidays while trying to stick to your healthy eating plan. So I thought I would film this and answer that question, and hopefully this will be helpful for anyone who has been a little bit worried about the holidays coming up and all of the temptations and potentially social pressures that could come with that. So my first tip for you is a mindset shift away from the thought process that goes, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, it's going to be punishment, I have to really brace myself because this is going to be such a struggle, to thinking along the lines of, I am choosing this, I am in control, and I am the one who is deciding to bless my body by making these healthy choices, to make decisions that are in alignment with my future goals, and to feed myself and nourish myself with healthy plant-based meals. Like, it's the same thing, but it's so different. It's going into a scenario feeling empowered and feeling like you are choosing this for yourself. This is deliberate. This is not something that you are being punished for, like I can't eat this and I can't have pie and I can't have the chips that I love, and I'm gonna have to sit there while everyone else is eating delicious desserts that I can't have. Already feeling that kind of uneasiness is just going to make it's just setting the scene for stress. Whereas if you set the scene for picturing yourself eating the delicious meals that you've prepared and eating these healthy meals, you can still make desserts, you can still have things that you enjoy eating, but they're just going to be different this year. And so going into that scenario feeling empowered and feeling proud of yourself for making healthy choices and feeling like this is a blessing, this is a really beautiful thing that you're doing for yourself, and it's not a punishment. So that mindset shift alone can really, really help. The second thing I want to say is that I really encourage you to experiment with your favorite holiday flavors. I recently made a what I eat in a day video where I showed you that I made pumpkin smoothie, and it was delicious. Alex had it as well, and he thought, wow, like it was like a dessert kind of a drink that you would buy out. Like, it was that delicious. And it was just pumpkin, a bit of stevia to sweeten it. And I know pumpkin is already sweet, but we really wanted to make it like desserty, and it was. And some soy milk, frozen banana, and water. And it was just so yummy and so easy to make. So maybe your holiday flavors are, you love peppermint, which I also love. Try out a peppermint smoothie. Try some sort of a peppermint dessert that you can make out of the ingredients that are whole food plant-based ingredients. Get super creative and take some time in advance. Maybe set out an afternoon on the weekend where you go out and you get the ingredients and maybe look up some recipe inspiration online and try out some different recipes. They're not all gonna turn out great, or maybe they will, but some of them might not be your favorite. But then just look at this whole thing like an experiment. Like, get really creative. Like, how can I create a nutmeg, cinnamony type of dessert that I'm really going to enjoy? Or maybe you love gravy, and gravy is one of your favorite parts of the holiday. A lot of plant-based gravies have oil in them. Get creative. Try to create one that doesn't have oil, that still tastes so yummy. And I've had some myself. They're really, really good. Actually, Alex's mom makes a mushroom gravy that is so good and oil-free, yummy, delicious. And if you're following me on Instagram, I will share some of the holiday stuff that I end up eating with you guys on Instagram. And just look at this whole thing like an experiment. Just challenge yourself to look at it differently. Like, how can I make it even more delicious next time? What could I add? What could I tweak? Get your family involved. If you have really like supportive people around you, maybe say like, even if they don't live near you and you can't see them this year for the holidays, do a Zoom baking session with your best friend who lives somewhere else. Like, get really creative, make it fun, and so that was my other bit of advice for you. And I've got my notes here that I'm going to refer to. So another thing is, don't get into debates about your way of eating. This can just ruin an otherwise lovely family get-together. If you feel that someone is really just wanting to argue with you about, why don't you eat this and you need more protein, and why aren't you having oil in your meals, or maybe trying to convince you to just eat what they made. You know what, I made this and there's oil in it, it'll be fine. You had this last year and you loved it, just have it again. There are ways to diffuse those types of conversations, and I really wouldn't get into too much explaining with someone who is coming off as a little bit aggressive. If you can really feel that they're almost being trying to really convince you of not eating this way, something that Dr. Doug Lisle, who co-authored the book, The Pleasure Trap, which I really recommend, and I will link in the description box of this video, something that he says in those type of situations, just kind of let the person know, hey, this is just something that I'm trying for 30 days. I'm doing a 30-day challenge. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll just see. Instead of no, this is the best. If you feel yourself getting defensive and you're trying to prove to them why this is the best way for you to lose weight and get healthy, and I just think that is not what the holidays are about. And you want to just enjoy your time with your loved ones and the people that you're with. So I really suggest staying away from any type of convincing or trying to change other people to eat the way that you're eating. Here, I made this plant-based pudding, eat it. And if they don't like it, then getting argumentative with them, and you shouldn't eat your sugary foods that you're eating, it's bad for you, and da-da-da-da. It just doesn't lead anywhere good. Let other people choose what they eat, and you don't need to convince them to eat the way that you eat either. It's your own personal journey, your own personal choice. If someone's genuinely interested and curious and they're coming from a good place, you can tell. You'll be able to feel it, and that's different. If someone's curious, then by all means share your information with them, but don't force it on anybody. All right, tip number 4, when in doubt, pre-eat. I always say this. This is just, as someone who's been vegan for 6 years, even before I ate this low calorie density way of eating, I always know to just eat something in advance, because there's nothing worse than sitting at a meal when everyone else is eating food and the person didn't realize that you were vegan, or they cooked everything with butter and you can't eat anything that's there and you're just hungry, and it's just not nice. Whereas if you've eaten something beforehand and you're full, then if someone's like, oh, all I've got for you is a salad, then you're like, sure, I'll have a salad, and just have a big salad, because you've already filled up on your potatoes or whatever else that you ate at home. So that more applies to going into situations where you're not really sure what is going to be served at a dinner. So when in doubt, pre-eat. And if you really need to, just put some bananas and apples, or something else, a baked potato in a container in your purse, so that if you really need to eat something, you just eat in the car before you go in. It can't hurt to have some food on you, so you don't feel like you are either forced to eat something that is not compliant with this way of eating and then feel bad about it afterward, or be hungry all night. I don't want that. I don't want either of those for you. So prepare and eat in advance, and that's just a good rule. All right, next. This one I really, really, really want you to hear. If you quote unquote mess up, or if you overindulge in something and you end up eating some sort of cookies, or you find yourself just overindulging in something that you're like, oh no, this is not part of my plan, this is not the way I want to be eating, this is a high calorie density meal, do not throw in the towel. Just because you had one dish that was, had some oil in it or whatever, doesn't mean that you've ruined it now. You can't follow along with this plan for the rest of the holiday season, and I'll just try again in January. No, 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 no. That is your perfectionism speaking. That is I need to stick with this perfectly, or I've ruined it and I'm a failure, and then I just go and eat chips and cookies and junk food all holiday season and then feel bad about it afterward. No, 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 no. One meal, it is what it is. Tomorrow's a new day. Start again. Don't beat yourself up. This is not a competition with anybody else. This is not well, Melissa did it and Melissa's been whole food plant-based. I realize I don't really share a lot of my own challenges with you. Maybe I don't want to paint the picture that I'm perfect. I'm not. There's times where I put too much salt on my food. That's something that's not the healthiest thing that I do. And so I think maybe sometimes I should share more of that stuff with you, because I don't want to paint this picture of you need to be perfect all the time, and then if not, then, you know, just wait until you can be perfect again before you try again. Like, no. If you mess up, and I just wouldn't put mess up in quotes, because like, whatever you consider to be messing up. If you eat something that is off plan and that is not what you want to be doing, and you're disappointed in yourself, feel that disappointment, but get over it. You know, it's fine. It's one meal. The worst thing that you could do is to allow that to make you feel bad and make you feel that like you can't follow along with this anymore because you've ruined it. No, no, no. Every meal is a new meal. It's a new chance to choose something healthy, and that's it. So enjoy the holiday season. The holidays are about joy and love, and not about punishing yourself and forcing yourself to eat spinach. If you don't like spinach, don't eat spinach. If you don't want to have broccoli for breakfast, then have oatmeal instead. You know, there are ways to customize a low calorie density diet so that you actually enjoy what you're eating. And I really believe that that is one of the biggest keys to long-term success with this way of eating, is to find a way to really enjoy it. And the more creative you can get with different flavors and customize this way of eating so that you love what you're eating, then what's so hard about that? Eating delicious meals that you love, that fill you up, beautiful. Can't wish for anything more than that. All right, I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Mwah.